How are you doing today?
Good, man. I just got home from work and ready to go, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. Welcome on to the Billion Bet podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I appreciate you having me.
So, you work as a franchisee owner for Servpro?
I'm not an owner at the time. I'm a production manager for 10 Servpro franchises, uh, mostly in Central Ohio, the Columbus, Ohio area. And then I'm also getting into, we have our owners have three franchises up in Cleveland that I'm kind of diving into as well when I can. But Central Ohio keeps us busy enough.
And what is going being a production manager? What's the day to day on something like that?
So right now I have about six crew chiefs, they call it supervisors, right? That's underneath me that I supervise on a daily basis. And then they have their perspective crews.
Okay.
So on a given day, I'm managing about 20 to 25 people. Um, and it's for all fire jobs, content jobs, and general cleaning jobs that those 10 franchises have. Um, so it's pretty much our guys are busy every single day, and we're growing all the time. So I'm interviewing and hiring as much as possible. So that's a lot of my time as well, doing that type of thing. But I mean, my goal is to, end up being a franchise owner, whether that's go in with the owners now that I work for, or branch out on my own. So that's definitely the next goal in mind. But yeah, man, I love what I do, and it's uh, it's a good feeling helping these people out on a daily basis. So
Loving what you're doing is very important. Are these people you're helping, like, is this insurance jobs then? Or are they,
I would say between 80 to 85% of them are, especially for residential jobs. We do large commercial jobs as well. For example, Vermont, when they just got all that rain a couple months ago, we had our storm team there, and it was a $23 million job. So we can do pretty much any size job. We'll do anything from a minimum $750 job to a $23 million job. So
okay.
yeah.
Where does your service area go extend to?
So on a day to day, it's pretty much Central Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, with a radius of about 60 to 90 miles.
Okay.
But for those larger jobs, I mean, like I said, we have teams that have gone to Vermont, Florida, Texas, wherever there's a large event, we can go wherever in the US essentially. So
That's pretty incredible. What originally got you into this field?
that's a great question. So I went to college for sport management and business management. Big sports guy, always have been. Played sports growing up. I thought I was going to be like a GM of a NFL team, NBA team, whatever. Yeah, and here I am. But worked as a personal banker right out of college.
Okay.
First job I could get was taking about anything.
Hmm.
Um, Worked there for a couple years, and I was like, I can't sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. I just can't. I like to talk too much. I like personal interaction, and it's not like it was 30 years ago. Not a whole lot of people go into a bank. So uh,
No, it's just drive through at this point.
yeah, drive through or online, people call in, and
Yeah.
if they're calling, it's mostly because there's a problem, so they're not happy, right? But there's a construction company. I'm from a smaller town, so I know a lot of people. A lot of people know my family and I. Um, Construction business owner approached me while I was at the bank, asking, how things were going. I was like, hey, anyway, you have an opening? I was like, I'll take about anything right now. They hired me as a project manager for construction, and
Okay.
I didn't know a whole lot besides how to put a hammer to a nail type of thing. So
What kind of construction was it?
Uh, pretty much new build. They do a lot of new build construction, but they also do remodels. They're a pretty large company from where we're from. So, anyhow, didn't know a whole lot. Learned from the ground up. Ended up going to an asbestos company because the family friends owned it, and
Okay.
then I was the main point of contact for Servpro in regards to asbestos abatement. created a
Okay.
relationship with the owners, and then about a year and a half ago, they talked me over to their side, and it's been great ever since. So it's a lot of people, they always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And in the situation that got me at Servpro, that's definitely the case.
That's great. I'm glad that you really found a home there. You enjoy it. It's really like a big part is trying to find something you actually like enjoy. When I used to work at like a finance company before I started my repair business, and I could not stand it, man. It was so nice once I finally was able to like do something that I actually enjoyed. It makes the days go by way faster.
Oh, 100%. You're absolutely right.
And in regards to like day to day, do they ever send you on like sales calls, or is it just overseeing the team?
Uh, there's times where I'll go out. I mean, probably at least once a week. There's lunch meetings or some sort of get-togethers with insurance adjusters, property managers, large commercial clients as well. So I do a little bit of that, and then on my social media, I kind of do my own marketing as well with videos. I've always enjoyed doing that, so I've just kind of taken it and ran with it, and it has brought in a lot of business for myself and Servpro. So doing a little bit of everything, just doing what I enjoy, and that's what's nice with Servpro is it's kind of like it's an entrepreneur position essentially. So I have that entrepreneur mindset, and I'm kind of able to do whatever I want to do essentially.
Okay. And are you like in regards to the marketing, are you focusing just on Columbus? Because with social media, like a lot of times you get people from like all around the world. How do you try and narrow that down?
Social media wise, there's always you can use ads, on Instagram, Facebook, etc. But for some reason, for like the past 6 months, Instagram hasn't let me run an ad, and no one from the help center has got back with me. So if anyone listening to this can help, let your boy know.
Yeah.
But so right now, it's just kind of creating the relationships online. Obviously, if I see any business owner or company around the area that I find, I'll try to connect with them. But there's no rhyme or reason to it right now. I'm just kind of posting what I want to post, and there's people from all over connecting, which isn't a bad thing because Servpro is a nationwide um, company anyhow. So even if it's not me directly gaining that business, it's at least the image of Servpro getting it. So if someone needs help, they know who to call.
Yeah, and I mean, you make it very apparent on your social media. You do a really good job promoting their stuff, and it's really like unique to see people doing that sort of fire type restoration work. I've seen like water and stuff like that, but never the fire stuff. It's so odd. Like I remember you did this walkthrough maybe like a week or two ago, and there was just kind of like a black line basically of where the smoke had built up, and it's just so odd to see that.
Yeah, it's hard to explain until you see it. It's crazy. We've gotten anything from the real little ones to the ones where a whole house is essentially the structure is still good enough to not have to tear down the whole house. Like I
Okay.
walked through one today actually, and I mean it's it's burnt to a crisp. But the structure is still in good enough shape to where it's not getting completely tore down. So it is. And that was from a little AC unit, man. That's another crazy thing is uh, it can happen from anything, any time of the day. So I'm going to start making some videos on tips and tricks to help prevent it because the things I see on a daily basis, my wife thinks I'm crazy because I'll unplug about anything in this house that we're not using,
Okay.
and I've just seen it all. So it's crazy for sure.
Hey, it's better to be safe than sorry.
You got that right.
What kind of situations have you seen this past, couple years that really stick out to you?
Oh man. um, I have so many stories. I mean, recently, so there's a toaster oven, all right, in this kitchen.
Okay.
It's a smaller house. This family was gone. They didn't have anything in the toaster oven. It wasn't like running. Essentially, it was just plugged in. Well, they walk in from going to the store or whatever it was, and there's smoke coming everywhere. And just a small toaster oven burnt this whole house. So we're actually in the middle of this job now, to where we have to pack out the whole house, demo the whole house, and reconstruct it just from a little toaster oven. Um, Now there's been some houses where I've inspected, where I've found some crazy things. I walk into hoarders' houses. I've walked into a few basements where there's been like prosthetic legs, skeletons, and stuff. And there's no light in some of these houses. So I'm walking down with my phone flashlight, and I see like a foot. And I can remember one time I about had a heart attack because I could have swore it was a dead body, because it smelled like a dead body was down there. So, I could go on and on. It's crazy to see how some people live. It really is. It's eye opening. Sometimes it's sad to see as well. So that's another thing about my job is I've seen a lot of things just in the past couple of years. So
Yeah, that's definitely eye-opening. I couldn't imagine walking down the stairs and there's just a foot right there.
dude, I'm telling you, that probably took 5 to 10 years off my life.
Oh, one time I was at a farm and I used to dump landscape supply there and like keep materials and so forth. And there was a deer bedded down right in the tall grass, and I was walking on the phone. That I thought, scared the life out of me, but I could only imagine a foot.
Yeah, my previous job, I had doing asbestos abatement. I've walked into some homeless uh, folks living in this house, an empty city house. Walk in, and they're just sitting there sleeping on the ground, and of course, some of them are doing drugs, and so yeah. Like I said, I have some stories for sure.
And are you then in charge of getting those people out of that house, or how does that work?
Well, then I was the project manager with that company. I mean, essentially, then all we could do is turn around, call the cops or the owners. But a lot of times you walk in and those guys scatter. It's like cockroaches. You walk in and they just start jumping out windows and stuff. So most of the time they take care of themselves. There have been a few times where, you got to call the cops or something like that, let them handle it.
Of course, keep that to the professionals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever, so with these houses, it's a kind of a two-parted question. With these houses, do they ever sell them or are they always fixing them?
Uh, when they have a fire loss or water loss.
Yeah.
Um, so 90% of our jobs, probably even 95, they're the occupied homes. Um, Insurance, if it's an insurance coverage, they cover for someone to stay in a hotel or a condo or something for the time being. Because there's times it could take 8 to 12 months before someone's back in their home, especially if it's a full blown gut and remodel. It takes a while, obviously. So insurance will cover that portion of it. There are jobs where it's in the middle of a sale. I've had that several times where they're in the middle of a sale and a fire happens or a large water loss because the pipes froze in the wintertime, stuff like that. So, with that, obviously they can't sell the home until it's back into selling condition. So,
Yeah.
like I said, that could be months to a year almost. So it just depends, but they can't sell the home until it's pretty much back in pre-loss condition. Or obviously you can sell the house as is, but you're not going to get anything from it. You might as well, if you have insurance, you might as well allow that process to go through so you can get your money's worth.
Okay. And that was going to be my next question, that makes sense. I guess if they have insurance, there's no reason why they wouldn't want to, you know, get the house fixed essentially.
Absolutely. I've had two jobs in the past couple months. That's the case. They're like, well, we might just sell it as is. And I sat them down. I'm like, you have insurance for a reason. There's people that I've done jobs for and they've had insurance for 30 to 40 years. And I'm like, you should take advantage of it. You've been paying on this for all this time. And now it's actually time for you to be able to use that.
Yeah. And I mean, you paid for it for a reason. You might as well use it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's another part I like doing is helping homeowners and owners of companies go through this process, right? Because hopefully people have never had to go through it before. And that's normally the case is not a lot of people have to deal with this. So they don't know what to do the first time they do. And that's definitely something that I enjoy doing is helping them through the process because I know before I started this job, I would have had no idea what I was doing, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what I really enjoy about what I do.
And I'm sure like helping people that kind of goes with anything, even with my own company. It's really rewarding to be able to try and help these people get back on their feet, get their lawn mowed. It's a little bit different, but
No, it's the same thing. It's all about customer service and doing what's best for the customer, no matter what line of work you're in. If you're doing everything's about customer service, in my opinion. That's where it all begins, no matter what it is. You know, landscaping, remodeling, whatever it is. If you can make that customer happy, um, you're doing a good thing.
100%. Does Servpro then subcontract out the work for like if they need tiling or these kind of drywall?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So most of our mitigation portion of it is in house, but reconstruction, a lot of it is subcontract work. So Servpro's the GC, the general contractor, and most of the work is subcontracted out on the reconstruction side. So that's another thing is, we're working with several companies on each job, and we have hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs going on at once. So
Wow.
there's a lot of moving pieces to it. There's a lot of people involved within the process. So recently I just got promoted to this production manager, so I'll be more involved with a lot more of those people on both the mitigation and construction side.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
How have you been enjoying the new role?
Oh, I love it. A management position. I love the leadership aspect of it, especially since the past year or two. It's been a lot of self development for myself, and that's the most important part for a leader is working on yourself, making sure you're the best possible self you can be before you can go and lead other people. And I had my time to work on myself, and now I feel like it's my time to be able to lead a team and take it to the next level.
What were some of those self development tactics you used to kind of try and better yourself and get better at leadership?
Well, I have this first form flag behind me, and Andy Frisella and 75 hard is what really took me to the next level. So I've always been a sports guy, always been in the gym, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, right? But
Okay.
I started 75 hard. It was actually January 1st of this year, is when I started 75 hard, saw it through. That was my first time starting it, and I did see it all the way through. And that's when everything changed for me. I haven't missed a day of working out since January 1st. Some workouts aren't as intense as others, but
Of
I
course.
still make sure I get that workout in. And that's where the discipline aspect of it came to play, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, etc. And that January 1st changed my life all due to 75 hard. It took me to the next level of discipline.
What pushed you to start 75 hard?
Um, I listened to a lot of podcasts. I was listening to the original what's it called, MFCEO podcast.
Okay.
So Andy Frisella's first podcast he started before now he does Real AF. And actually, that's where I found out about my mentor, Ben Newman, as well, who's really helped me during this process as well, especially this past year. But I was listening to podcasts like his, Ed Milet's, found a bunch of others. That's when I found out about Keaton, aka the
Okay.
Muscle, and how I started meeting some of you guys, through Instagram. So just podcasts, watching YouTube's, reading books. I read, part of 75 Hard is reading at least 10 pages of self-development books. So I've read a lot of their books as well. And it all just kind of mixed in, and it's really been the perfect match for me. With all of that being said,
Man, congratulations on never skipping a day. Like, just keep going. That's really impressive.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I now thinking about it, years past, like I said, I would work out, but I definitely didn't put my foot on the ground and force myself to do uncomfortable things to force me to that next level. I was just kind of staying comfortable where I was, thinking, oh, I look fine. I'm eating okay.
Yeah,
If I take today off, I'll be okay. I drank a little too much last night, this or that. And stopping that type of thinking and taking it to the next level is why I am where I am now. I don't think I would be in the position I am with Servpro right now if it wasn't for me doing that.
that's incredible. It really is a life-changing program. I have never completed it all the way through. However, I've gone more than halfway, and I continue to this day to work out. I had like a leg injury this week, so I've taken the last 2 days off. But tomorrow, I'm gonna get right back to it, and I basically run like every single day or work out similarly.
No, that's awesome, man. And what people don't understand is it's not, you don't have to go and lift heavy weights. You don't have to run 10 miles a day. It's just about forcing yourself to do it,
Yeah,
especially with an injury. It's like, I'm sure that's an excuse for a lot of people to say, oh, I'll take a couple weeks off. I'll take a month off. And then it gets closer to Christmas. Oh, well, you know what? Let's just wait till the new year. New
yeah.
Year hits. You don't wake up on New Year's Day, working out because you're probably hungover or ate too much, whatever the case is, stayed up too late. And then it just keeps rolling over and over, and the excuses keep piling up. And then that's why people are not enjoying the jobs they have, not enjoying the positions they are in their life, is because they just have so many excuses and they don't put a stop to it, and they just build up.
That's truth. That's truth, brother. A
It
hundred
really
percent.
is.
I mean, like yesterday, I still hit the sauna, but like I could barely walk when I woke up. Basically, what happened is I got these like yard signs, and you might have seen on my story I was passing them out on that skateboard.
Yeah,
Well,
I did see.
so my buddy was with me. He's also got one, and we were messing around in front of the Menards, and there's like a little bit of a ramp type thing, and but I accidentally like went up it, but there was some mulch. So I like basically like launched myself on the board, and then instead of the board going over the berm, basically it got stuck in the mulch, and I just kept going. And what really got me was that my phone was in my pocket. So like I landed, and it like the phone just dug into my hip.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's making my hip hurt right now.
Oh my god. And then it's like the next morning I got 12 repair jobs. Like, come give me a break.
Testing you.
Yeah, I know, but hey, the week went smooth with repairs, so that's all I can ask for.
Hey, there you go. Can't complain.
Yeah. I made the best of it. And honestly, like I was still pretty sore. This happened 3 days like night basically. So like 2 days ago, I was oh my god, I couldn't even like move. Or I guess it would be, man, these days are actually flying. No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. I could barely move yesterday. But then the more that you walk on it and stuff, it just kind of works its way out. Honestly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's part of it, man. Just a little bit of physical exercise, whether it's a 5 minute walk down the street or just getting yourself to walk around the house,
Yeah.
like I said, and that's where it starts, even after an injury. I know Andy Frisella went through a major surgery, and that was his main turning point too. It's but not using it as an excuse. You still got up, you did the repair jobs that came in. You could have said, you know what, let's see if we can push this to next week. I'm not, my leg hurts. And that's where it starts piling up for people. So just getting up, no matter how hurt your leg was, how bad you feel in the morning, get up and get it done. And it's the best feeling in the world. Doing something you don't want to do, once you're done with that, the accomplishment and it's everything, to do that and do the things you don't want to do, especially on a daily basis.
Yeah, those are really like mental barriers that it took me a while to start pushing past. Even when I started working out, it was a long time before I could start actually doing those things. It's
Yeah.
just, it seems like a long mental game, really.
Yeah. And it goes into the business side of things too. Just because you get up and go to the gym one day doesn't mean you're going to be the most ripped guy in the gym.
Yeah.
In business, you're not going to just wake up and in one day be the richest guy in your company, or whatever the case is. It's just incredible how that physical aspect of it relates so much to everything else in your life. So it's not going to take 1 or 2 days to be the strongest, or to go from not being in shape to being in shape. It takes a long time, and it's the same with business or financially, personally, with your family, relationship wise. It's you have to work at it, and once you have the discipline in those aspects of your life, that's when, once you do it in one aspect of your life, that's when it builds in all others, and you just create that momentum. And momentum's a real thing. It really is. It's not just a sports thing that you hear on ESPN. It's a real life thing. Once you start building that momentum, I've seen it this year just from starting with 75 hard, and it's gone into my personal life. It's gone into my business life now, and seeing it on a daily basis. You don't believe it at first, but it's a real thing. I'm nothing special. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I like sharing that because I didn't believe that probably a year ago. If you would have asked me that, I would have been like, yeah, whatever. That's not going to do anything. I'm fine where I'm at.
That is such a phrase right there. I'm fine where I'm at. It's because people don't like I was fine where I was at, but you could always get better. Why wouldn't you get better? Like if you can get better, why wouldn't you?
Exactly. And that's where the line split, especially nowadays. There's so many people that all they want to do is want people to feel sorry for themselves while they're sitting there drinking a beer, eating a bag of chips, watching football on the weekend. Well, trust me, I love football too, so don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they're doing some things where the winners in life are going that extra mile. They might be watching the football game, but they might be on the treadmill.
Man, I love that. I love
You
that.
know,
Yep.
there's a big difference. I'm not saying you can't sit down and relax. I'm not saying that, but it's just the little things that add up on a daily basis. It's stacking wins. My mentor, Ben Newman, calls it stacking days. Win each day. As you win each day, let's say you only win 6 out of 7 days of the week, you still won the week. You win 3 out of 4 weeks in a month, you win the month. You win seven out of 12 months in the year, you win the year. And that's something that I've resonated with him so much. And I'm telling you, if you guys start thinking that way, it could be a life changer.
That's powerful. That's truly powerful. I haven't heard that before. I really
Yeah,
like that.
it's good, man. Like I said, Ben Newman, he's said a lot of things, but that's one thing that's really been ingrained into my mind on a daily basis too. So I can't take any credit for that, but taking what he said and run with it, and it works. He's been doing it for almost 20 years too. So it's not just some guru that's, done it for 2 months and acts like, they're a millionaire and all this stuff. You guys see that everywhere nowadays. And
It's the
like I said,
worst.
just because I'm saying this stuff, it doesn't mean I'm nowhere near special. I'm not an Ed Milet, but one day, hopefully we have the same conversation in 10 years and we're both in different circumstances, talking to more people.
We will be. We will
Yeah,
be. Because I know you show up every day and I show up every day.
that's it. That's the battle, man. That's 95% of the battle.
Hey, so speaking of showing up every day to the gym, you must take. How do you recover? What do you? What is your? Have you changed your diet? Do you supplement? I see you got a first form flag.
Yeah, I could probably do better on that side of things in regards to. I definitely don't like stretch or do anything like that enough. I really need to start working on that. But in regards to supplements, yeah, I take some pre-workout. I'll take protein most days. I try following a diet. I'm not 100% strict on it, but I do meal prep for lunches, especially during the week for work, so that I'm not going through the drive-through every day,
Yeah.
because I'm on the road a lot. Oh, it's so easy to pull off, grab a sandwich, from McDonald's or Wendy's. But yeah, diet's a big thing for me too. Like I said, I don't necessarily follow a macro diet or anything to that.
Yeah.
I'm just smart with what I eat. I'll still have a decent meal here and there, where what you'd call a cheat meal, but um, that's that's a lot of that side of it. In regards to physical journey, nutrition is very important. You can still have, pizza here and there, things like that. But if you don't have a consistent diet, you're probably not going to make a big leap on the physical side. And also, for your brain, eating healthy is very good for your brain health, and having good brain health leads to a lot of better things in life too. So
Definitely. I've seen with like the diet, I'm not super strict personally. Like, I'll eat whatever I want to eat
yeah,
ultimately, right? It's like if we are at a nice restaurant and there's something on the menu that looks good, I'm gonna eat it because this is my life and I live it once, right?
exactly.
But like you say, about did you win the week? At least 4 out of the 7 or 5 out of the 7, it's like I'm pretty strict. So maybe one day a week I'll have like a cheeseburger, with. And let me clarify. I mean like a Culver's or like a fat or like a Portillo's, like a fast food type cheeseburger. But
Yeah,
I stay away from the Wendy's and the Burger King and the McDonald's. That's not after because like for 6 months I probably was like super strict, like no fast food at all. And going back to the fast food, it doesn't taste the same. It really doesn't.
it does it. No, I'm with you on that, dude. I'm the same way. Like I said, I'll have I'll have the cheat meal once or twice a week, and but I know for a fact every day when I'm at work, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to go through the drive-through. They come back with a big bag of Wendy's or whatever it is that's right down the street, Taco Bell. They're like, hey, you want anything? Nope, I got mine right here. And just doing that, there are days where I'll go out to lunch, especially if it's a business meeting, something like that, and I'll have me a nice lunch.
Of course.
But that's those small wins too, and it ends up making you feel good when you say no. Saying no is very powerful as well. And
Yeah.
a lot of pretty much everything in your life, if you are confident enough to say no, that's a big thing to do. It takes confidence, but how much I would love to go and yeah, I'll take a quesadilla from Taco Bell. Yeah, I'll go get that Big Mac, whatever it is. But saying no is very powerful, and that comes into the people you surround yourself with too. Being able to say no to people that may have been in your life for a long time, you can still be friends with them, but if they're asking you to do something that's not going to take you to the next level you're trying to get to, you can say no and not feel bad about it. It takes some time to feel okay saying no. Trust me, it's not.
How do you deal with that?
Uh, it is difficult because I like to have fun, man. I do, but that doing that all the time is not going to get me to where I want to be. And I have a family
Yeah.
now. I have a baby girl. So I spend a lot of time with my business side of things, and now I have a wife and a baby girl that's the other half of my time is going to them, and especially when she's not even 2 months old, it takes a lot of work. So there's only so much things I can do to help take me to that next level, and certainly going out 3 or 4 nights a week is not going to um, help me get to that next level. It's still hard. I'm not good at it. I'm not, but I'm starting to learn to say no and not necessarily feel bad about it. Like I said, everyone's still my friends. It's not that I'm disowning them as friends or great people. It's just something sometimes you're not going to be able to do the things maybe you even want to do.
Yeah.
And that's part of the discipline that takes you right back to guess what, 75 hard.
Yep. And that's where it all starts, really.
Absolutely.
Man, it even gives you clarity. I like going to the gym just because when I'm having these thoughts about what we're talking about, just gives me time to think. I can only imagine you have a lot on your plate right now, wife, baby. It's your first time. I'm assuming having a kid.
Yep.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah, man. It's the past couple months, and literally right in the middle of all this, having our baby girl, I learned about the promotion. It all hit at once. So such high emotions. There's days where one thing I'm working on is patience.
Okay.
um, I've never had great patience, right? But having a baby at home, all you parents will be shaking your head to this, but I'm trying my best on a daily basis. There's just times, especially after a long day at work, I wake up in the mornings at 4:30 every day, work out, go to work. I'm there for 10, probably plus hours a day most days. Come home and doing things around the house, including, spending time with the baby, and the baby starts crying. My patience is that thin by that point in the day.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm working on too. It's definitely not easy, and credit to my wife. I don't know how she does it on a daily basis with having to deal with that a lot longer than I do. But that's something I'm working on for sure. I'm definitely not the best at it, and it's testing for sure.
Does your daughter sleep through the night?
No, nope, not yet. And once again, especially during the week, my wife thankfully takes a lot of that time at night with her to take care of her. Like I said, I wake up really early, and thankfully Lauren's able to work from home. She just started this week back at work, but she's working from home for now. So
Good.
if that wasn't the case, if it wasn't for her taking one for the team, it'd be even harder. And my patience, I wouldn't have any patience at that point.
That's that's the challenge. Is I guess it's a new curveball, but I'm sure as the months go on, you'll start to get acclimated to it.
No, absolutely. And I know I keep going back to it, but it's that discipline thing. If I feel like I'd be even worse with handling certain situations with her, and learning how to be a dad and learning how to take care of a baby. It all goes back to discipline. I hate to repeat myself several times, but it's just funny how one thing can translate into so many other parts of your life.
It's true though. Stacking wins they add up into all realms of your life.
Yeah.
Hey, Steele, this is all the time we have for the podcast today. I appreciate you coming on, and I think this is a good way to end the discussion.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on. You're doing great things with this podcast. I'm excited. I love watching your stuff, listening to everyone on, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Thank you, sir. I hope so.
Have a good one,
Peace.
man.